Welcome to the March All-Staff Meeting. Crazy that we're almost done with March. What a month it has been. I know all of you have been working really hard, but it's been a great month to see the building so busy and active. So thank you very much. Got a big week coming up here with the auto show. We always know that that's a big one, right, Tony? It's going to be perfect, right? Awesome. So let's get going. Obviously, we always start out with why we're here. We're here to be the best for our employees, our clients, and our community. Everything that we do because service is who we are. No matter what our tasks are, no matter what our job title is, we are hospitality professionals that are here for human beings and to serve each other going forward and to serve our city and our community. And we do that through relationships. And we've talked about relationships, and we are a relationship building for a long time, but I am doubling down on this year, and I'm talking about this year as being the year of relationships. It's the year that we really dive into this, and we really make sure that we're remembering how to build relationships, and that is a significant and important part of what we do every single day. And so I'll give a little homework for everybody, and that is to think about one thing you could do maybe this week, maybe it's today, but maybe this week, to help build a relationship. That might be something as simple as when you walk by someone, you smile at them. That might be something as simple as you sit down next to someone at break time or lunchtime that you don't normally sit down next to. But try to do one thing here in the next week that helps build a relationship, maybe with someone new or someone different, because you have great relationships, I'm sure, with the people that you normally hang out with. But let's keep that growing. Let's keep remembering that. Let's keep teaching our clients that's who we are, so that we can make sure we bring this to life, that we are a relationship building. So one of the cool relationships that we have, right, is that we are City of Minneapolis employees. And so when we talk about being the best for our community, we have that connection to our residents of Minneapolis. We're here for them. We provide them jobs. We provide them activities. But that relationship with the city is really important. And we have someone here today who's going to talk to us, and that is Laura Mellum. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about her, so she can say all the things that she would like. But she is our connection, our relationship to the greater city of Minneapolis. So Laura.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Jeff, for your leadership. I'm so pleased to be here with all of you this morning at the Minneapolis Convention Center. As Jeff said, Laura Mellum, I'm brand new to the city, so I've been here for about 3 months. I moved from New Orleans, where I spent most of my career. I was there leading communications and engagement work in the nonprofit sector. After Hurricane Katrina, I worked there for 2 different mayoral administrations in the city of New Orleans. And most recently, I was the chief of staff for the Port of New Orleans, which is a top 10 cargo port in our country and the 6th busiest cruise port. And it also, interestingly, happens to be located right on the doorstep of the New Orleans Convention Center. So you really have right there on the Mississippi River the 2 main economic engines for Louisiana in hospitality and tourism, as well as maritime commerce. But I'm very excited to have moved to the other end of the Mississippi, not only for this position, but also because I'm a Minnesota resident, long time born and raised here in Bloomington, and happy to be back with my family. Woo! But I did just want to take some time this morning to talk a little bit about the emphasis of the mayor's administration right now in the cabinet at the city of Minneapolis, and to talk about some of the goals that I have in this position. So as you know, the city is implementing its new government structure, what has been called an executive leadership structure, or sometimes called a mayor strong structure. So under this new umbrella, all of the city departments are reporting up to the mayor's cabinet and ultimately to the mayor. And in my new role as deputy COO, I'm one of 3 deputy COOs, and we each have our own set of departments within the Office of Public Service, and we are all reporting up to our COO, Margaret Anderson Kelleher. So under our division, of course, we've got the Convention Center, as well as the city's communications department, our neighborhood and community relations department, intergovernmental relations, and 311. So it's a really great group of departments that I think all share a lot of commonalities. Particularly, you're all external facing, you're thinking about customer service and excellent service delivery, and really also driving new policies and new programs, and especially here at the Convention Center, creating jobs and economic opportunities. So I think it's a great team of teams that I'm so excited to be leading. Another important focus of the mayor's administration that I wanted to talk a little about today is the focus on racial equity. And this is manifesting in several ways across the enterprise. I would say first and foremost, over the last several years, the administration's been investing heavily in training our leadership in how to foster a workplace culture that is focused on equity, welcoming, and supporting our BIPOC employees. That's been driven partly by a training program called Metamorphosis. We've had several cohorts where our leaders are going through this intensive multi-month training, again, to really drive sort of culture change within the city's workplace. And the ultimate goal, of course, of all of this work is to be welcoming and supportive of our employees of color, and also to be a workplace of choice, so where we can continue to recruit and retain diverse leaders and diverse employees across all levels of the organization. This focus on racial equity is also external facing too, so it's really thinking about all of the city's programs and policies that we're providing out there in the community, ensuring that racial equity is centered in that work as well. A really key part of that is the Office of Racial Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging, and so they are working with every single department within the city to make sure that departments are setting racial equity goals, that they're meeting those goals. Again, really with the ultimate goal of making sure that we're lessening disparities, particularly in Minneapolis's communities of color. So this is a really key initiative for the entire city, and I wanted to make sure that you all had a little bit of insight into that work as it relates to your work as well. So I appreciate the opportunity to be here today and to talk to you a little bit about what's going on at the rest of the city. And I also wanted to share the best wishes of our COO, Margaret Anderson Kelleher. She wasn't able to make it today, but we'll find another time for her to come and address all of you. So have a great rest of your meeting and look forward to working with all of you in the future. Thank you.
All right. It's been great to have Laura on board and to have that extra support as we go into the city and all the fun things that we get to do. So looking forward to a lot of fun in the future. So let's talk a little bit about anniversaries. We've got, I'm not going to go through all the names, but this again is a testament to all the people that, whether it's been 1 year anniversary or whether you're in that 20-year anniversary, we want to say congratulations to all of you. January was a big month. February, a smaller month, but mighty month of anniversaries. And then into March, another big month of people that have put their time in, and every single day when that alarm clock goes off, they're excited to come to work and be here at the Minneapolis Convention Center. So thank you very much for everyone for your years of service and for your efforts to be the best. We can clap for that. Yeah, thank you. And we've got some new members to the group of Minneapolis Convention Center employees. I've been doing a lot of Meet Minneapolis stuff lately, so sorry. So I want to go around and see who is here that we can stand up. I didn't see Liz, but I may have missed Liz. Didn't see Liz, but Liz Duval, a production tech. Christian is here, so Christian, stand up so everybody can see you. So if you haven't said hello to Christian, make sure that you find Christian. Say hello to Christian. Matt, I didn't see Matt either in the room. But Matt, another production tech, so 3 new production techs. That's pretty awesome. People in black walking around. A lot of guest services ambassadors. I'm not sure if any of them are here. Trying to find Marcus. No, none of them are here, but again, I did see some new people working at CoCheck the other day, so made sure I stopped by and said hello. So please look for those new faces and welcome them to the team. And then we've been really working hard to bring in some more intermittent OMS to help shore up our group as we go forward. So we've got some new people here on the 3:30 shift. I'm assuming because they're on the 3:30 shift, they're not here right now. They better not be here right now. So make sure, again, as you see those new people walking around, that you're welcoming them and that you're talking to them and that you're also showing them what it means to be a Minneapolis Convention Center employee, too. So thank you for all the new people. All right, we're going to do an activity now. Obviously, you can see there's some things on your tables, and so I am going to throw it to the fun police. All fun. You're going to lead the fun brigade. All right.
Jeff's out. Okay, so we're going to do the activity with all of the things on the table. Leah Bedford in Business Services is going to lead the project. I understand that this project will not be for everybody. Everybody doesn't like arts and crafts, but I encourage you, yes, we got one person who's excited, to lean in and do the project. So here is Leah for an introduction and on what we're going to do for our project.
Hi, I'm Leah Bedford. For those of you I don't know, I have been with the Convention Center for just over a year and with the city for just over 6 years. And I'm also an artist and a teacher and curator for several Twin Cities nonprofits. And Riley came up with an idea for us to do a little bit of a creative project. This is not about the end result. This is just about having some fun, thinking outside of the box. And so this is an example that Riley made. It's kind of like a vision board, if you know what that is. So what we are encouraging you to do is just think about how you want to make an impact in a visual way, either in your personal life, in your business life. We have magazines there. There are markers for you to draw. So just think about something that you want to make an impact. And again, this is not something you have to explain to your neighbor or show anyone. This is just for fun, little creative thinking, gets you outside the box, and it's a good way to solve problems too. So their supplies are at your table. We have a real limited time here, so I believe we have, 15 minutes? Yeah, we have about 15 minutes, but I'm glad that Jeff brought up relationship building because we are going to have supplies downstairs in the quiet room, which is right across from business services. And we're going to have a little craft table set up there, so I really encourage everybody to come and visit the room and spend a little time. You can continue working on your project and maybe engage with folks that you don't see on a daily basis. And then lastly, if you do make something and you'd like to share it, find me on Teams. Leah Bedford on Teams. We can take a picture and maybe share something digitally at the next meeting. And if you have any questions, hit me up. Otherwise, get to it. Thank you. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So we are going to wrap it up. We're going to do department goals. How about if you can scrapbook quietly, you can do it while we do department goals. Okay, so we're going to jump into it. I'm going to lead us off with the goals that we have in business services, and then we're going to go around robin, and we're going to hear from the other managers and I think Katie in sales director. So business services, our goals from this year are probably going to look very familiar because a lot of them are very similar to last year's goals. Revamping rewards and recognition. So this never really got off the ground last year. Chris and I are going to a conference that we're hoping to glean insight on what the current market is doing in this area. Building-wide training opportunities. 2 areas that I'm really interested in developing further are a computer skills course. I'm working with Learning and Development. They want to bring in a contractor potentially on a more normative basis, so like once a month, twice a month, something like that. To even just teach how to write an email, how to type, how to open Word, how to do Excel at a very basic level. So very basic skills, approachable for anyone. Job shadow opportunities. I know there's a lot of people already leaning into this. The ECs have already gotten in touch with us, but maybe building this out a little further. What does this look like? How could we help people gain the skills that they want to get into the positions that they're interested in? New uniforms. This one also has been in conversation for a while, but getting our gray shirts updated to potentially a blue or a brand color is on the horizon for this year. And then revamping the standards of service training. So this one again was a goal last year. We have our script finalized now and we're gonna begin filming hopefully this summer. So that is what I have. Does anybody have any questions on any of those goals or any comments? Silence. Okay. Okie dokie. So now I'm going to turn it over to Marcus.
I think it's one slide. Now, Jeff mentioned the fun police, so we're negotiating with the police right now, so we're looking to recruit business services to help us with that, okay? All right, so the theme of this, a lot of feedback we got from the impact notes is training. So these are the things we're gonna look at in our department and also with partnership with business services of city learning, development opportunities with associations in our industry. Online classes, we all learn differently, so that's another element we'll try to implement, like our emergency awareness training, our harassment training, that's through comments. So we'll look at more online classes, as well as learning and certification opportunities. For example, in our command center, we have a lot of systems that our support technicians need to know and understand how to use and navigate, and technology is always evolving, so we'll be looking at training for that. Service standards, impact customer service training for best security and our other service partners, so as Riley and her team evolves the standards of service training, we'll incorporate that with our partners as well. Building knowledge, this is a big building. Every event is unique and dynamic. The other thing we're gonna look at is behavior threat detection training. Again, we have thousands of people coming through our building, so it's our job from a security aspect, and all of us collectively, to be aware of suspicious activity. So how do we monitor that without wrongfully profiling people? Because we shouldn't be doing it by race, sex, and those things, right? We're just looking at behaviors. Equipment management, this is a big thing. We've seen an uptick in the loss of keys, and the difficult part is that it's not being reported. We're also seeing an uptick in the loss of radios as well, and that's not being reported. So we're gonna look at guidelines to how we manage that, track that, and how we utilize the tracker cabinet. Also with parking, with our parking permits that we issue out to vehicles, of looking at that, promoting that for everyone to register their vehicles so we can get parking permits out, as well as capital projects. We're close to finishing the video management upgrade. That's about 90% complete. We're putting new cameras in the wrap, so that's coming up. Card readers and meeting rooms, the 103 renovation, that's part of us adding card readers to that. That should be installed here in 2 to 3 weeks. We'll pilot test to see how that works, and then we'll do that with the other meeting room renovations. Our goal is to consolidate the use of keys, and then you can start using your badge to get into your spaces. And also we're looking at intercoms in different locations of how we communicate with people when they come during off hours and those things. Now we communicate. Any questions? All right, who's next? Mr. Hickok.
Oh, wonderful. So, event operations, we had a lot of good feedback from our impact notes and consolidated that into 3 different goals, and some of the other good information that we got, instead of turning it into a goal, it's actually actionable items that we can just do. We don't have to create a goal about it. We can just go ahead and move on some of those. But our first one is ensuring that the event operations staff receive ongoing training and certifications as needed. So this kind of goes towards forklift training, which we did at the end of last year, was part of that. We'll be moving forward with aerial lift training, Cushman training, some of the more heavier equipment, and then of course moving through to our scrubbers, sweepers, and other items like that. But then also just our standard operating procedures that we do throughout the day, whether that's cleaning, room sets, things like that. And that will be an ongoing project for a goal. Also, room sets are checked and verified by supervisors for completion and accuracy. Not sure what that one's going to be, what that's going to look like exactly at this point, but that one is going to be worked on by Steve and, do I got that right? Steve, where's Steve? Are you on that one, Steve? Is that you? And, no, that one's Sheldon. Sorry. That one's Sheldon and I. We're going to work on that one. If I go back real quick, the training and certification, Dan and Greg are going to spearhead that one. That one will be probably some OMS involved with that as well, or BMWs, helping out with that goal as well and providing some feedback. That one, like I said, Sheldon and I are going to work on that one. And then the last one is cleaning processes tracked and reviewed to ensure proper operating procedures have been followed. So just making sure that when we're doing restroom cleaning, terrazzo, offices, whatever it might be, that we're actually going through, verifying it was done correctly, and then working to make sure that if there are any challenges or problems with it, that we can get those corrected. That's the one that Steve's going to work on with Cassette. Any questions on those three goals? Seeing none, moving on. Mr. Wayne Mahoney apparently has quite the presentation locked up here. There's probably going to be some audio-visual involved, probably a project at your tables.
All right, are you guys ready? All right. So well, we're in the show business end of the building. So the first goal is about partnership. Steve Crawford and Liz Duval are going to lead this one. And basically, we're going to partner with the stagehand workers that come here. I'm sure you're aware we have a pool of over hundreds of people that come through our building. So part of this goal is to train them so that they can know the same things we know. I don't think they know the impact statement or what it means. We're going to get that going. We've bought a lot of new equipment, a lot of gear. We want to get them trained on our equipment, our gear. We want them to learn where things are in the building. We also want them to learn the customer service that we have learned so well. So pretty much that's the one. You can read the things up there. The next one is the process of exhibitor services. This is about processes. One thing I noticed when I was putting this together, exhibitor services is like MSP, the hub. They touch every department in this building, and I didn't really think about that till I put this down. So we want to improve the processes in exhibitor service with basically all the departments, including some of the contractors, which is like Premier Electrical. Even Kelber Catering falls in here sometimes. And the goal is that we all want to see if we're doing things most efficiently, the most productive for everyone, whether it's printing work orders, closing work orders. What do we do when the show's on site? Do we act differently? So we're going to take a look at everything. Some things might be working well. Some things we might need to improve on, but we're going to take a hard look at that. And then the last one, I don't know if you guys remember a couple years back, we all lined up on a wall and we did the life of an event from the beginning to the end. We made a big poster about it. Well, this is the first step. The sales team gets the event, make a relationship with the client, and then it's basically turned over to logistics or the event coordinators. So the goal is that process of that transition. Are we getting all the information? Is it the most effective? And basically, so we don't miss anything and nothing falls through the cracks. So we're going to take a hard look at that. And this is going to also promote team building between sales and events. And I think it's all good. That's what we need to do. And then I'm going to give it to Katie, my team member.
Thank you, Wayne. I'm talking on behalf of Deb Taylor. She is off on vacation now. But these are the goals that we've got going on. This is a joint goal. It's really being run with Melvin and Jeff at the very beginning, supporting and planning an agricultural expo. We've lost a lot of our annual January business and some of our December business and they were agricultural areas. That's a lot of times where they meet because they're not in the fields. There are a lot of small agricultural expos that happen throughout the state of Minnesota, and we're looking to join them all together for one big agricultural event, and we're helping support that. And that we would love to have it by 2025. We're kind of on a waiting list to see if that's a go yet. So 2 will be kind of finalize the committee, and then quarter 3, it will be whether we can go forward with it or not, or wait until 2026. We are also improving pricing options and products that generate ancillary revenue. We have a unique, we offer unique Minneapolis products to our customers. We created, so this is the Minneapolis experience. We had, what was the name of the distributor, the alcohol, Du Nord. Du Nord came in and did samples of their whiskey, and then Kelber joined and also did food pairing with them. And we put this together so it could be an event that meeting planners can put together as a track for their meetings, but showcasing specific cool Minnesota products or Minnesota, it could be even retail or anything of that sort, a Minnesota experience in their meeting. So we're working on that together. We've got a package put together. It's just about the right time of, it was kind of a beta process last year. We practiced it. Now we have kind of fine-tuned it, and we're ready to get it out to the customers and sell it for them. An increased outreach with awareness and bookings of MCC and local event planners. This quarter, we hosted 2 FAMs, and that was with the NCAA final, or not final, that would be wrong. Was with Big Ten basketball. We had quite a few groups come in through that with a FAM, and then we also did a FAM with the Home and Garden Show that went really well. We had 30 clients here. And then we are going to participate, of course. These are local organizations that meeting planners attend, and then we go also. MPI, Savannah is the president of MPI, and so she's heavily involved with that. We've got sites, IAEE, and then Association North, that we all join. They have monthly meetings, and we go out and try to get customers that way. And then we host key regional board meetings and committee meetings downtown. So that's part of the local committee with Meet Minneapolis, or the local team, and then our team here that work on that to get and build relationships with them. And that is all we have for that. Lane?
Those who don't know me, I'm Lane Carlson, the manager of facilities. Thank you. So our goals this year are, we're looking at life safety systems. So, so we've been doing a lot of projects around the building, but we're gonna make sure both of our fire pumps are online. We just finished the west fire pump, which is on this end of the building. It's actually operational. We just got to fill it up with new diesel fuel, and that is coming next week. Both emergency generators are back operational. We got those running. At one time, we had the east one was down, and the west one at the same time. So they're both up and running right now. We put a new radiator on the west one. Make sure that the engineers work with the command center to test the fire pumps and generators regularly. So that's being done. And then I call it transition of MCC institutional knowledge. There's a lot of folks in our department which aren't going to be there in a few years. We want to make sure we pass that knowledge on to the new people we hire and make sure that we get everybody up to speed so we can come back and visit and not be run out on a rail. But so that's like documenting processes and organizing our tools and everything. So the guy's been doing a pretty good job cleaning all that up. And then, as always, because a big portion of this building's cost is in energy use, make sure that we check our daily function schedule and set the HVAC settings accordingly to make sure that we're not cooling or heating spaces that are not necessary. And then we're always brainstorming ideas to try to help reduce energy costs. They've been going through checking all of our chilled water valves. If you guys don't know how we cool the building, it's not like you do at home or in your car. We don't use Freon. We use cold water that comes from downtown. It gets piped here. You'll see those pipes underneath as you walk in the basement corridor level. And we run it through coils and make air conditioning that way. Well, we use a lot of it to the point of like over $1 million a year, a lot of it. So we want to reduce that if necessary. Our white roof has helped a lot in that regard, but also not using it when we don't have to will be helpful. We have our engineer too, that is Bob. Continue to work with all the engineers by continuing to comb through the Honeywell EBI system and looking at ways to make sure that it's operating more efficiently. And then we communicate with event coordinators and security during move in and move out to make sure that we're not wasting energy, by, running fans and stuff, and also by keeping the doors closed or open if it's nice enough outside. And I'm done. All right, we're going to talk uniforms.
Here, I'll take your clicker. Okay, so thank you to all of the managers for running through department goals, and thank you to all of you for the input that it took to create those goals. Uniforms are at the back of the room. We actually got through the content pretty fast, so if you want to stay a little bit longer and work on your vision boards, do it. So, any questions, comments, concerns before we wrap up? No. Okay, thank you all for coming.